David Tanis has a new book out called The Heart of the Artichoke. He's the chef at Chez Panisse restaurant in Berkeley, California. The recipe that really stood out for me was the slow-cooked Carne Adovada, fancy name, but it's basically pulled pork with a spicy New Mexican chili paste. Pulled pork is a popular thing and you can never have too many good recipes. I have never made this recipe before. I'm in my home kitchen. It'll give you an idea of how it's gonna work for you in your kitchen. So the first thing always when you're starting a recipe is quickly find out what the temperature is that you're cooking it at. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Now it's time to just collect your ingredients. Dried New Mexican red chilies. Okay, that was the first thing I was like, uh-oh, can everyone find New Mexican dried chilies? The nice thing about this book is that he has a whole 2 pages talking about chilies. If you can't find New Mexican, ancho and guajillo are the best ones for sauces and marinades. So there's your alternatives. If you have non-powdery medical gloves that are clean, put them on because dealing with chilies can be really rough. So this is the New Mexican chili. It says 6 ounces. Let's see. Wow, that's a lot of chili. I wish they would count them out and tell us how many it's gonna be. 32. 32 New Mexican chilies. That would be cool if he put that in there, I'd have to say. But he didn't. So he's assuming that you're a really, sophisticated cook with a scale. He doesn't say how to dry them. This is what I do with lettuces, so sure, why not with chilies? Toast them in a dry cast iron pan over medium heat until they puff a bit and become fragrant, 2 to 3 minutes. I don't cook with a lot of chilies normally, so this is sort of, new to me a little bit, which is exciting. Okay, I think they're ready. I'm gonna transfer to a small pot of water. I hope they all fit in a small pot of water. Kind of tight. You know what, since they're not really fitting well, I'm gonna transfer them. Well, this is coming to a boil and it's gonna simmer for 5 minutes. I can be now toasting and grinding my spices. Oops. So we're gonna do a teaspoon of coriander. Just keep moving them over medium heat. And just smell. Just stick your nose right in there and smell them. They'll start to change, and when they start to change, then you'll know they're ready. Okay, they're there. Transfer them. And there's a very fine line for when they're burnt and when they're fragrant, so you have to be careful not to go over. So now I'm gonna do the same thing with my cumin seed. These might go a little faster because they're a little skinnier. You can grind them together because they're going to go into the dish together. Yum. Smells good. All right. Lower it to medium-low. Oh my God, I think I forgot a step. I messed up. I boiled the peppers before I seeded them, which will change the flavor of the water. It'll make it spicier. The stems and the seeds are spicy. So I'm going to attempt to fix my mistake. Sorry, David. This happens, it happens. People mess up, even recipe testers. And this is the thing about cooking is when you mess up, your dish isn't totally gonna be wrecked. There's always a way out. So now it fits in the small pot. That's where I went wrong. Put this back over here, turn it back on. So at this point, I really need to just cut my onion and my garlic and get that ready. Okay, my chilies are done. Puree the chilies with a cup of their cooking liquid in the blender. I'm just looking for movement and I'm looking for it to be blended. Stir it up just to help it move so that it blends better. Sometimes it gets stuck. All right, there we go. I'm just gonna use good old vegetable oil. I love lard, don't get me wrong, but it's just easier to have veggie oil in the house. See that shimmering there? That means it's hot enough. We're gonna add our onions. We should hear a sizzle. If it doesn't sizzle, it's not hot enough. And then I don't know what I just told you about shimmering. Ah, thank goodness. Pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper. And I can set my timer for 5 minutes. So it says put the pork in a low roasting pan or a heavy bottomed oven-proof pot. Those are 2 different things. This is my low roasting pot. And I guess he says just it would cover with foil. A Staub. This is a Dutch oven. Really heavy. I wonder if they'd cook differently in these 2 dishes. So it's a little vague. That's a little confusing to me, but I think I'm gonna do it in the Staub. Cooks really nice and even. I don't have to use foil. I can use my pot. So that's ready. garlic, coriander, and cumin that's been ground and toasted, a bay leaf, and then the chili paste. That is a lot of chili paste. I'm starting to wonder how spicy this is gonna be. Wow, that's good. No, it's not hot. It's got that smokiness and like an aftermath of heat. Oh yeah, now it's hot, like back of the throat. But it's nice, it's not too hot. Yay, that little mess up totally didn't ruin it. Okay, and let it go for another 5 minutes. This is gonna like dry out the paste, meld the flavors. It's gonna make it good. Now to the pork. This is a 3-pound boneless pork shoulder. Always pat the meat really dry after you rinse it. Just cooks better if it's not wet. All right, looking good. Put it in the pan. Now we just need to let it cool, and then once it's cool, we can slather it all over that pork. Oh, I'm not wearing my gloves. Shoot. I was so diligent the whole time. And put it in the oven. And let it go for 1.5 hours. I'll set the timer. Okay, good to go. I think it's gonna be good. I'm wondering though if the temp isn't low enough and the time is not long enough. So like the slower and lower you cook something, often the better it tastes. And this is sort of higher temp, 350, and 1.5 hours is not that long, but we'll see. I bet it's gonna taste good. I trust him. Okay, done. Get this baby out. Okay, let's check it out. Looks a little different than his. Yeah, he doesn't have as much sauce in there, but I bet it's gonna taste really good. It could probably go for a little longer, but this is really good. This looks like it's pulling off. That's really good. And this would be like perfectly chopped up and then put it into a bowl with some hominy or polenta, or you could just put it into a taco. That's really good. Wow. A+, David.